Hello and welcome to this week's deep dive. I'm Adam, the presenter on the channel, and this is your latest deep dive. It's Tuesday, the 4th of March, and this is your deep dive where we talk about all things at Everton, the latest Everton news, an in-depth talk about Everton, and we're going to talk about Thomas Short Chuck and Dan Ashworth as the Friedkin Group want Dan Ashworth as a new director of football to replace Kevin Thirlwell, who leaves Everton at the end of the season. But according to some reports today and yesterday, that Moyes wants very good West Ham player at Everton, Thomas Shortsek, in the summer transfer window, have managed him during his time in charge of the Hammers. In fact, the 30-year-old is described as a signing for the Blues boss, who is also looking to right backs in the summer, but the goal scoring midfield is the main man and the top of the list for David Moyes, as alluded to them. Contract ends at the end of the season. Meanwhile, the Friedkin Group want Dan Ashworth to replace Kevin Thirlwell, as his time is coming to an end in the summer when Everton won't renew his contract, as it's been announced by TFG, the Friedkin Group, that Dan Ashworth will be leaving Everton and Kevin Thirlwell. So in this week's deep dive, we'll be discussing that. So let's get started. Kevin Thirlwell, for me, hasn't done a really good job for Everton this season. I think that's been lately very appalling. And we only got one signing done, and that was Carlos Alcaraz. So I do think that he could have worked a bit harder behind the scenes with Moyes to get more signings in, but we didn't. Jack Harrison, he wanted him in, got him. He had one good season with Everton, then another poor one. So for me, again, that was another poor one by Kevin Thirlwell. So yet again, it's another one missing. But with the Friedkin Group now deciding, it is going to be very, very interesting to see who Dan Friedkin will pick. There's all speculations that the Friedkin Group will look at Dan Ashworth to replace Kevin Thirlwell. So that'll be very interesting. In fact, it excites me a bit with that because I've heard rumours from some Everton fans that they would like Dan Ashworth in because he knows what he's doing. He was at United. He's been at Brighton. He done really well for Brighton. Apparently made some decent signings. And that. But it is interesting to see. But as I said, with Dan Friedkin, once Dan Ashworth, I think that would be a good one. I don't know that much about Dan Ashworth. I've not read up on him, but I believe that he's a good director of football as well. But if we move away now to the summer, where some of the contract runs out at the end of the summer, Everton are looking at a right back as well. But the top priority is that Thomas Schuker from West Ham, who is not in Graham Potter's future at West Ham. So it's looking like he'll be leaving West Ham this summer. Meanwhile, we've got a load of players who are out of contract as well, and the Friedkin Group has said that no one signed any deal until we're over the line. So at this stage, every single player is out of the club who are owed for a couple of years. That's what I've heard today, but that's until the Friedkin Group and David Moyes and the director of football have all sat down. It'll probably just be it'll probably just be the I think at the minute it will just be the Friedkin group until we know that that happened, but we still don't know the future on that. But I do believe that that TFG want Dan Ashworth. But the other thing I know is that it'll be very, very interesting to see the Friedkin group working in the transfer window. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a really decent transfer market window, if that's how you want to call it. So it'll be very interesting. Then that Thomas Souček as well coming to Everton. That's another one for me. What's going to be very interesting, a transfer window as well. So it is interesting to see how many we get in. Then we've got Dan Ashworth also, by the looks of it. As well. So it's looking like a busy summer and a busy transfer window towards the end of the season, as not only we've got a new director of football, but we're going to need new players in ASAP as well. So yet again, another busy window. What's going to now approach us ASAP as well. So that's going to be another really important one for in the summer as well. But the future is looking really positive. I believe, according to some news articles, we're going to be having shows at Branley Moor like these at Wembley, and that when Branley Moor opens, so we'll be making money from that. Some of the debt we owe under the Machete era will be getting paid off, and we'll have probably, I believe, some money to like spend in like the transfer windows and that. So yeah, a busy future and a busy next couple of months, especially the summer, when we get Dan Ashworth and the new director of football, by the looks of it, the Friedkin group want. Then David Moyes wants that Thomas Souček from West Ham during David Moyes' time at the club. So that's going to be another interesting one as well. And that's so we've got that to check out as well. So plenty to get through over the next couple of months. The new owners are in, and all we need now is that we need a decent window and get some decent players in so we can start fighting for Europe, because I believe that TFG and Moyes want us fighting for Europe for next season. I heard that some news articles are reporting, because I spoke to one of the Everton journalists, and they said that the TFG, the Friedkin group, want Everton to fight for Europe. So we can't do that at the minute with these players, because these players haven't got a clue. But that's set to change, and once that change Happy days. So it is going to be very interesting to see who we get in, what players can help us get into Europe, and that. So yeah, as I said, a busy summer ahead, a really busy one. And I'll tell you what I'll be looking forward to the most is a new director of football, some fresher recruitment, but not only fresher recruitment, but I guess some decent players, because this director of football who we've got now is clueless. Is a bit like Dyche, clueless out of his depth, basically. For me, I don't rate Kevin there. Well, I think he's done. It's a hard one under the circumstances. Yeah, I feel for him, but other times he doesn't help himself from the plays he brings. Like bringing Ashley Young for 2 years is, at least his deals, I mean, is up this season. Then the likes of back and Sean Dyche as well, because Michele wouldn't pay him as well. Obviously, maybe Michele would pay him, but yeah, I don't know. But he doesn't help himself at all. But yeah, it is interesting. But at the end of the day, I guess it is what it is, I guess. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I hope you've enjoyed this week's deep dive. We'll be back a bit later on for another video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, leave a comment, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.